Oh, we're on. You didn't tell me. You didn't tell me you turned the camera on.
I didn't do the big point.
The big point, the big finger. I always wanted to be called. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, let's leave that out for the next one.
That's probably on the next show, though. Welcome in, and you go ahead. Leah's putting on his microphone there.
Yeah, and producer today again. So
of course, Leah's the person that introduces the show. So and turns on the dollar store.
What is it?
There you go. You got to clear it and then start it. See?
Oh, the thing's pushing on it.
Oh, you see.
So I'm back.
That cost me $1 at the
dollar store bargain deal.
Yeah, it does, because it shows us. I better put my hat on. It's awful humid.
It is very humid today. Welcome back, everybody. Big Daddy Russ Horton. I'm Lee Lakin. Leah Lywood's off again today. She's got her grandkids and a handful under the age of 3. Two of them.
God.
I don't miss that stage. And a big happy birthday to my grandson, Xavier. I know you watch these, so big happy 10th birthday, my buddy.
And happy birthday to my mom.
Yeah, your mom,
her heavenly birthday.
But still her birthday nonetheless.
Yes.
And, still celebrate that every year. Why not?
My mom was a pretty gal. I put her up on Facebook.
That was a beautiful picture, actually.
And, one of my buddies from CKOC, the old days, John Novak, said that she looked like Betty White.
Yeah, there was a little bit there. Yeah, I could see that with that picture. Yeah,
a little around the eyes.
Yeah.
You can see there. But we're brought to you, as always, by Max Tires, and they have the lowest prices on tires anywhere, and they have licensed mechanics. You might even be lucky enough to have Smudge work on your car, as a matter of fact.
And you'll know it.
That's right. He's a great guy, Smudge, and they're a great bunch of people there at the Max Tires, 905-873-9255. And don't forget Fred's Towing. They're looking for major operators who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's good salary, too, Rob says.
Yeah.
And Easy Taxi, they're always looking for drivers, of course.
And lots of work.
Lots of work going on, and it's time to get back. You know, one thing I've noticed about not only the tow truck business and the taxi business, it's everywhere.
Well, you go along Armstrong, you see signs out. Hiring, full-time.
I went into KP Products there the other day. The manager came out and offered me a job.
Yeah.
It's like, I've got one. But, let's get back to work, guys.
Kids going back to school. We're at Labor Day weekend right now.
Yeah, and, they're going back to school.
Summer's gone.
Summer is, well, on the calendar it's gone, I guess.
No, we still got till the 20th September.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, for the calendar, for our calendar, for the way we go through things, like the X. Everybody thinks the end of the summer is the X.
Yeah, that's very
the
true.
first leaf that you see on the ground.
They're starting to drop here. So,
and I've noticed a few colors changing too in Georgetown. Downtown, as a matter of fact, right by the apartment building.
Well, the grass color sure has changed.
Yeah, well, it's great. It's great.
Finally.
Our grass was panting for water a week and a half ago, and now it's greener than it looks like Dublin out there.
I'll be doing the lawnmower job this weekend, man.
Looks like Newfoundland.
Yeah, good.
It's greener than green.
Good. Better late than never, I guess.
Yeah. And you, of course, last weekend, you were doing the big car show behind the Acton Legion.
What a great car show to put on. There was money and food raised for the Acton Food Share, the Georgetown Hospital. Big thanks to Napa Auto Parts. They just were outstanding with their prizes and giveaways. We were given, my DJ table was littered with people all day. We had a blast.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah, they had over 257 registered vehicles.
Wow,
that's a record in this area right now. It was impressive. They were actually running out of room. Either they had to go into the public parking and not let people park there, and I think next year they'll have to do that.
It's such a huge area of land, though. The Acton,
believe it or not, they filled it.
They filled the cars. Yeah. Did they have the cars around the back or in the front?
Yeah, they do them right around the backside where the two new tanks are.
Yeah.
But it filled all the way out into the public parking lot. It was a lot. It was the biggest I'd seen it in the 6 years we've been going there.
You were spinning the tunes there?
We had a great time spinning tunes, man. We had so many people come up to us and, man, these are the best car show tunes I've ever heard. So, we had a lot of those that day, so thank you all for that. That was awesome. It was just a fantastic day and a fun thing to do in our community, like the Leathertown Festival. I was going to actually talk about that. I'd written some notes down and forgot to bring them out with me.
That's all right.
But we've got a couple of fall fairs coming up over the next few months, which are always fun events. So check your calendars for that.
And don't forget the Erin Fall Fair too. That's huge.
Yeah, that one's.
It always gets forgotten for some reason.
I never do. I love
the Erin Fall Fair.
I was part of that one for 6 or 7 years as the MC with the Demolition Derby.
Yeah, we both worked in Erin Radio for a while together.
And that was a blast doing that. I had so much fun. I couldn't do it today. It would kill me today. But like I said, next weekend, so it starts off the Georgetown Fall Fair. September 17th, they've got the Craft Beer Festival going on at Trafalgar Sports Park. That same weekend is the Acton Fall Fair. Both fall fairs are having Larry Melton and the Practically Hip. So yeah, there's just lots of cool events coming up and lots of stuff going on. And then, like you said, we've got the Milton Fair as well. That'll be going on in the last weekend in September. And then we hit the Erin Fall Fair. So
you got one fall fair after another. Practically.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's great to have it back. We don't realize that they've been gone for a couple of years.
Yeah, a couple of years.
CNE's been gone for a couple of years.
Yeah. And they said they had record numbers there as well. They were up 10 or 13%.
What's that new sandwich? What's the new sandwich at the X now? It's peanut butter cheeseburgers. I think I'll pass.
Yeah,
I love both.
I love both.
Butter and cheeseburgers, but not the.
But is it that chocolate peanut butter thing, right?
And I don't want to eat bugs like fried crickets on toast. Come on.
No, I have no interest in that. Thank you very much.
Look at my portly shape. You can tell I like food.
They even had a vendor there that had ice cream that tasted like ketchup and mustard.
Why would you want to do that?
Why?
Why would you want to do that to yourself?
That would
make me. It just makes me gag to even think about it. But I do love ketchup, not with ice cream though. It's just. I guess the big story this week, Leah, is Halton Regional Police say a drug trafficking network based in Halton Hills included loaded guns and other disturbing trends as well. The Force's Drug and Human Trafficking Unit conducted a 2-month investigation in relation to a drug trafficking network based in the town of Halton Hills that spanned across the GTA. They're covering the whole area here. And it was August 25th and 26th. 3 Controlled Drugs and Substances Act search warrants were executed. And at homes in Georgetown in the area of 10 Side Road and 8th Line.
Close to home.
And Toronto as well.
Yeah.
They were raided as well. 6 people have been arrested. That's scary stuff. I don't know the ages of the people arrested. I would imagine there would be younger people, but who knows?
Who knows?
But that area, when they say 10 Side Road and 8th Line, I don't think they're talking about an old farmhouse.
No.
I think they're talking about the neighborhood there.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in there. They're just not giving the address because you wouldn't, would you?
Well, yeah. I don't think they'd be handing that out too readily.
No. That area has had a lot of problems with the big fire. The big
Side Road and 8th Line.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
where the
fire
was. Remember where the people were killed? The people.
Yeah, in there. That's right. That's where the fire department is.
Yeah.
Right on the very corner there, right?
Exactly.
So okay.
And we don't think it's them.
No.
We think because they have a nice truck there.
Yeah.
And they're very high profile.
I think somebody sees something going on.
But somebody in the neighborhood was raided anyway.
Yeah,
what else is going on?
Seems to be you put all the rats in a cage and you see what shit flies. Pardon my language.
That's right. Well, you're not telling any lies.
No.
Basically,
this is a weird story, and I don't understand why we need the police in the Halton Catholic school boards. But despite some opposition, the program has come under some criticism by those who claim that having the police in schools is detrimental to a positive learning environment. I know it's not really. I'm allowed to, in this country, say my opinion. I think this is absolutely asinine. They do this in the States, and the reason they do this in the States is because they've had over 60,000 school shootings or mass shootings down there. Like, their numbers are just ridiculous. 16,000, I think it was. Higher than anybody in the world. We don't have school shootings like that in our schools. I don't see why we need this. And even if there is, I hate to say this, but school, you're going to have bullies. Bullies are in school. Bullies are at work. Bullies are in the real world.
It's part of life.
It's part of life. And, having the police there to police the situation can help, but it can also make it a lot worse on your child or your student. So really think about that one a little bit. You're going I think you're going a little too extreme, but that's just my opinion and my opinion only. But yeah, I think it's. I agree with some of the opposition, just saying this is crazy. What do we need police in the school for?
Yeah, I kind of agree with you in a way, actually. I can't remember as a kid, did we ever have police come in? I can't remember.
They'd come in and do talks and stuff, but they didn't stay at school all day and police the hallways. Like, to me, that just sounds very Russian-like.
Is that what they're doing? There's police in the hallways. Wow.
They're the what did we call them back in the day? When you skip school, who was the guy that came and got you?
Oh, the truant officer.
The truant officer. That's it.
Oh, okay. All right.
But and it just, I don't know. I think it's a real wasted of resources, in my opinion. So
when I was a kid, I grew up in Nottingham a little bit when I was a kid in England, and we used to have, I've told you about Tug, the policeman.
Yeah.
He was 7'9". He had size 26 feet. I'm not kidding. He picked up Muhammad Ali like this.
Yeah.
And we always, all the kids in Nottingham always looked up to Tug, and that's what I wish we could go back to today.
Yeah.
But we're, I mean, I get along well with police officers.
Same here. Right.
And one thing, when you get pulled over, guys, don't throw an attitude at the officer because he's got the power to really
screw you up.
And, they're doing their job. Everybody's doing their job. It's just...
They come up, I've got everything in my hand waiting.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Sorry,
Ownership,
sir.
license, and...
You were going 10 over. Yes, I'm sorry, sir. Carry on with your life. But, these people that have this Karen and Chad attitude that they're going to take on the police force. You're not going to win the battle.
Yeah.
Okay? You won't.
You think, again, you're being a bully, you can win?
That's right.
It doesn't work.
That in another aspect is being a bully. Like
absolutely. The confrontational kind of person.
Confrontational bully that you could bully a police officer. I've seen it on YouTube all the time.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm on the side of the copper.
Yeah.
Like the things I have to put up with. But there's. I wish we could go back to that because when I was a kid, we always looked up.
Back
to
then, the British police didn't even carry a gun. They only carried a billy club. That was it.
Don't.
Well, some constables do. It's certain street ones do, but again, it's still limited, right? To a very few. And again, like I said, when you go back to these mass shootings, if you take all the European countries and take their mass shootings and put them together, they still don't equal what the States has.
Oh no!
And you're talking about billions of people. And so when I look at the Americans in that situation, okay, I can see having police in the school, but. That's just, I don't think we're at that level yet.
This is a sad story. One person has died following a single vehicle collision early on Saturday morning in Georgetown. The fatal crash occurred at about 1:30 a.m., according to police. The male driver had been traveling southbound in a blue Toyota sedan on Highway 7 when it left the roadway and collided with a raised driveway culvert, according to police. Paramedics tried to save his life. But the driver, the sole occupant, was pronounced dead at the scene. So he was obviously coming down the hill there from Silver Creek.
Yeah.
He's coming south. That's the only area you can go south on Highway 7. It doesn't say, but I would imagine so. That's sad. I mean, it doesn't say if alcohol was involved, but it might not have been. Who knows?
You don't know.
That's an awful dark area.
A very dark area. It is not. It needs to be lit, especially in the wintertime.
The worst dark area in the whole of Halton Hills is 7th Line Aramosa and Highway 7. It creeps right up on you. When you're going towards Rockwood, and there's the 6th Line Nassagawa, or not 6th Line Nassagawa, the other one, the other side there, the Guelph, Aramosa. 6th Line Aramosa, and then all of a sudden you've got 7th Line Aramosa going north. But there's no light there. It's like the darkest place in the world.
one there. Yeah.
They have to put a light because I'll tell you why. Someone's going to miss the turn and try and make it and go in the ditch.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
I'm sure it's probably already happened.
So there's something you guys can ignore out there. But there's another idea. And they did fix the 4th Line sign on the Wellington side.
Right.
After we
did they?
It was
right.
spelt wrong.
Spelt wrong.
Forth. It's a wonderful river in Scotland.
Right.
But it's not 4th Line.
Yeah.
So anyway, the guy changed it. I don't know, but we have a laugh.
Why not?
You gotta laugh. You gotta laugh because if you don't laugh, Leah, you're gonna cry.
Yeah.
And but anyway, we're very sorry about that. This is a very sad story.
Yeah, Moya Johnson. I was quite shocked to hear this, actually.
Sure, I was too.
Will not be running for an 8th term on Halton Hills Council after being diagnosed with inoperable pancreatic cancer. Johnson has represented Ward 3 since first being elected in 1994. Yep. Apart from Mayor Rick Burnett, she's been the town's longest-serving council member, and our hearts go out to the Johnson family. She has been just a dynamo for this town.
She's bled Halton Hills for years.
Pretty much, yeah. And, any event I've worked with her at has always been a joy, always been a pleasure. And yeah, this was just hit pretty hard when I saw that, because again, it hits close to home. I've known Moya for quite a few years now with being involved in the radio and stuff, and yeah, so our heartfelt condolences to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you say, and she's dealing with a situation, and her and her family have to deal with a situation, but her heart's always going to be in the town.
Absolutely,
and we're going to miss you, Moya. There's no doubt about that.
No doubt about it. She'll be around. She'll still be around. She'll be dealing with this situation. And
don't forget the elections coming up next month. We have 5 or 6 candidates now. 5, I think.
I believe it's 5.
Yeah. So don't forget to get out and vote in October. And we're trying to lasso Rick Burnett.
Oh, I did speak with him at the Show and Shine. He will be here next Friday.
There you go. We're going to get Rick.
So, yes, I forgot to tell you that.
Is he going to bring Josie with him?
I have no idea.
I love Josie.
I have no idea. She'll probably come anyway. We had a great chat on Sunday when they were at the car show. Oh, yeah? He picked his favorite car for the show. Yeah. Gorgeous car. Can't remember what it was. It's on Facebook. But I still got to say, I still go back to the show. It was so well done. It was so well put together.
Did you play oldies?
Did everything, because you got to remember that a lot of the guys that, yeah, I do all the regular 50s and 60s stuff that you would play, Beach Boys, yada, 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 yada. Those set lists have been played out for years and years and years. I add to the set list the guys that are my age and even a little bit younger than me, which is 55 and down to 50, that were looking at the 87 Camaro going, oh, I got to put the 6x9s in the back, man, and they're listening to AC/DC or Van Halen. So you got to pick your tunes right, but they're driving tunes. That's what I pick. I pick driving tunes.
Stuff like Sultans of Swing.
Sure,
rock and roll.
Some of that rock and roll, some Jerry Rafferty, stuff like that just...
You're making me salivate.
I
love that.
You get in the car and you just, Then the phone rings. It's like, shut up, come on.
Radar Love, Golden Earring.
Golden Earring, Highway Star, Deep Purple. Hotel
California.
Exactly. Some Eagles. You throw some of that stuff in that. Yeah, the 50s and 60s are great, but a lot of the people that were
70s too.
Were alive then, or were doing classic car shows, are now in nursing homes.
Yeah.
So you got to remember that the crowd that's there, like Sunday, we had everything from baby up to people 98 years old in the wheelchair loving it. So it's really, when people are coming up to me going, oh, you got to play Chuck Berry and you got to play the Beach Boys and you got.
I love that. I love
that stuff too.
People.
But if you blend it all together,
yeah,
and do it properly,
kind of like Radio GTA in a way.
A lot.
Halton Hills Radio. We mix everything together.
So people were coming last weekend. I had 20-odd people come up and go, this is the best music I've ever heard at a car show, by far. Why aren't you playing Georgetown? Why aren't you playing Milton? Yada, yada, yada. Well, they don't have a budget, so there's your answer why.
Yeah. But, this is definitely a car town, and we got so many other... We'll be talking about the other car show in Georgetown, of course, as we get on with the show. Now, getting back to COVID-19 again for a few minutes. Halton District School Board reveals the new masking rules and COVID-19 guidelines for Oakville and Burlington and Halton Hills and blah, blah, blah. Masking will still be required under certain circumstances in school, but will remain largely optional. Kind of like everyday life.
Pretty much.
Basically.
Right.
The Halton District School Board announced Thursday evening at its COVID-19 updates for the return to classes. While much of the COVID-19 health and safety protocols remain unchanged from June, there are some updates and revisions according to the board and Halton Region Public Health. Masking is not required for students, staff, and visitors in school board offices, or on student transportation. However, masking in indoor settings and crowded spaces is still encouraged. Okay, so there you go. And I'll leave you to talk about the school bus situation, which is a little bit better than last year.
It's going to be a bit better, but I think the biggest thing is, again, like, you're talking about Easy Taxi and Fred Stowing. Getting drivers is a challenge right now.
Yeah.
A lot
and
of
the money isn't bad, really.
Well,
the hours they have to work.
Yeah, no. You got to think about this, though, because if you're just doing school runs, it's not, I hate to say this way, but it's not really very good for many people. Some mothers can pull it off, and that's why you see a lot of women bus drivers, because you're up early in the morning, you're out the door, you're doing your school run, and then you have a 6-hour break in between before you got to go back to work. Well, yeah, and if you got kids, then you can do your kid thing at home and have their naps and whatever, and then go back out. But for some people, if that's all you're doing is school runs, you're only doing 20 hours a week, but you're wrecking a whole day. Yeah. You're shooting down a whole day. So you kind of have to look at it that way, that if it's not for you because of that, then, I hope you understand. But patience and understanding is just going to be getting, they're talking about picking your kids up on time and making sure that kids aren't forgotten and stuff like that.
I was forgotten.
Not that it's funny, I'm sorry, I'm not laughing, but I just had that happen to a friend last year when she started, and so it kind of became just a constant battle joke with her. But don't be calling the bus companies freaking out on them, because that gets you nowhere. And just be patient.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Something simple as that. Milton, Halton Hill students all heading back to class, and they want to know how these rules are going to impact the busing. And the school year began with a rural bus driver shortage, and it's going to result in delays, and not much they can do about it.
And continuing the COVID reports, Ontario eliminating the mandatory 5-day isolation period for anyone testing positive for COVID-19. I've had it, you've had it, but we think we've had it anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was.
My doctor said, yeah, you got COVID.
But I've had my shots.
I've had mine. I've had all my shots. I'll tell you one thing about COVID.
I've been to the vet. I'm fine. I've got all my shots.
I'll tell you one thing about COVID, though. As a bug, it's a kick-ass bug. It'll knock you down. I don't care how big. Look at the size of me, and it just flattened me right out.
Yeah.
Imagine what it does to an older person. So please be careful. And, instead, the province, I guess, is now requiring that anyone who tests positive for COVID-19 isolate themselves for 24 hours from the time symptoms beginning, when they start improving, or they no longer have a fever, and then wear a mask for 10 days until the symptoms dissipate or whatever. And this is
pretty much stay at home.
Yeah,
basically
it's saying you have the flu, right?
Exactly.
But,
what I hated that when people come to work and they're sick. What are you doing? You're coming in and infecting everybody.
Like this. I've already had it once. I don't want it again. And it's everybody in my house had it. It was that bad. And so it's nothing to mess around with. We may make light of it and say, "Oh, we're sick of it," but it's here and we have to deal with it. And but you don't want to get it. No. That's all I want to say. I mean, him and I were both on our backs. Leah was even worse.
Weeks.
Yeah. It took a whole month to get better, didn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because we were better, and then it would come back again.
I know.
I've never had that happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is disturbing. Your story here, the 28-year-old man.
Charged with sexually harassing and assaulting girl in Halton Hills. Police believe there may be additional victims. Rita Rohila, the Independent Free Press, reported that.
Story,
after following an investigation in Acton, he was arrested August 24th and charged with sexual assault and criminal harassment. The charges stem from an alleged incident with a female youth. The charges have not been proven in court, and in this country, that you're still innocent until proven guilty.
Somebody from out of town coming in here, and
And thinking it's small town, nobody's going to do nothing or say nothing, and
Don't do that in our hometown, buddy.
nope.
Yeah, so he's been charged. He's from Mississauga. He's 28, and you know, for the size of Acton, we have 11,000 people here.
About that, yeah.
We create some news, don't we? I mean,
gosh, yeah.
you know, Georgetown and Acton are pretty level on news stories and things happening, and for a town so small,
Yeah.
we really have quite the headlines. Maybe it's because we have to. That's our job to report it. But
Well, that's it too, right? We see it all the time because it crosses our desk every day. So.
yeah. And, please be careful, ladies. Not only ladies, guys. You know, somebody approaches you on the street, walk the other way.
Seems a little odd, seems a little out of place, make a mental note of it or something, you know.
Walk towards somebody, a male preferably,
Yeah.
Who is...
At least another person.
Yeah, and quickly get out of there.
And if it means you got to bang on somebody's front door, do it.
Or if you have to use your right foot, do it.
That too. Yeah.
but,
Swift kick to the nuts will do something.
It will do. And we have to protect our...
My daughters were
citizens.
taught that from day one, man.
Yeah, you know, I mean, and it's mainly the ladies that have to worry about it, and it's happened a couple of times in Halton Hills over
Yeah.
the last year or so. Different, you know, not the same person, different people. So there's more out there. Just beware and keep your guard up all the time.
Saw this story, this next story. I saw this. I went past it just after it happened.
I'm losing myself here.
17-year-old.
Oh, 17-year-old boy rushed to hospital. Oh, yeah.
That was
Rushed
nasty.
to hospital, serious injuries following a crash in Halton Hills, which happened just a few days ago on Tuesday evening of this week. Two-vehicle crash occurred in the area of Highway 7 and 4th Line.
Messy.
And the OPP are investigating the incident. Been confirmed just after 10 p.m. The teenager was taken to hospital with serious injuries.
Yeah.
And
Put it this way, the SUV he was driving was destroyed, and all four wheels were smashed off the car.
wow,
All four.
how could that happen? It makes you wonder how these, you know,
Like, how fast was who going? Like,
Yeah.
it just, to knock all four rims off a car is like hitting a strike at every bowling game and a hole-in-one in every golf game. Like, that's just unheard of, man. It's
that's a dangerous area between 4th Line.
You know
and,
what? Somebody was going on about lights there, and I'm like, you know,
22nd side
the biggest
road.
problem is people don't know how to drive.
Yeah.
That should be an easy intersection. It's flat on both sides. It's wide open. There is no blockage whatsoever. That is bad drivers. Bottom line. You
Well,
can't
it's
get through
usually-
that intersection, you are a bad driver. There is nothing wrong with that intersection whatsoever. We have far worse ones than that. And no, putting a set of lights there is not going to stop accidents. Bad driving is what caused it. And I saw it. I saw what happened. I was there. It was bad driving. So lights aren't going to help that.
No, and most of those accidents happen from other cars getting onto the highway or not giving enough time.
Exactly. Usually not judging that distance properly between the guy there and my acceleration point.
Yeah.
And
We got to get some snow fences out there. We really do. Yeah.
Halton Hills is the only place I know that does not have snow fences.
Because that area between 4th Line and 22nd Side Road, as you do the loop down there through
Yeah.
Silver Creek, that's got to be the loneliest, most dangerous part of this area when it comes to
When those
accidents.
lands were actually lived on and farmed, because a friend of mine had, his parents and grandparents had property right along that stretch. When they were farmed, they had big trees up and stuff like that, so it blocked the highway. Well, now that's now just open.
It's open now, yeah. It's open.
And we're the only township I know in this whole area, including Milton. Like, Milton put snow fences up.
Maybe we'll wrestle with Rick next week.
Yeah.
Go down on the ground, say, put some snow fences in.
Well, it's not going to
before
be
we
his decision anymore.
I
so.
know.
But yeah, I saw him at the car show, and he was very happy to join us on the show. So
That's got to be awesome.
yeah, this story too, I didn't know about this one. Halton Hills could lose Wastewise. It's a waste management site for 3 decades now, due to a lack of leasing space for a new contract. And Wastewide Board Chair Stephen Pignataro said it's unfortunate we may not be able to stay in Georgetown, But right now, my biggest hope is to find a new location, and I wouldn't want to move all that stuff, man.
Can you imagine how much that work that would be to move waste-wise? I'm not sad that they're going to
be another move, right? Because they were down the road before and had to move. I think
that's right. They were. And the lady that ran it before, Debbie, she was awesome.
She was
Debbie
amazing.
Smart.
Debbie Smart.
And she works, I think, at
Rogers, at RJ's.
RJ's.
Yeah,
Rogers. Said Roger. Now there's a character.
Yeah.
She put her soul and heart and soul in that. And really, we do miss her.
And then they canned her.
Yeah, they canned her.
That was not a pleasant thing. But we love you, Debbie.
Oh, you damn right we do. I've worked with her many times. She's a total pro.
The lease at 12 Armstrong ends December 31st with the landlord's decision to make other uses of the space and a minimum time requirement of 6 weeks to set up a new contract.
That must be breaking Debbie's heart. You know that? Because she put so much work into that place.
It gotta be.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So they've got only a few months left to figure out what they're doing.
Well, let's hope they hang in there, because how many things have you been?
It's a mainstay, this place. Like,
and the other one.
Almost everybody I know knows what Wastewise is and has been there.
What's the other one on Highway 7? There's another one that we were talking about that deals with the same kind of thing.
Well, there's Grammys.
Yeah,
right by the Chrysler dealer.
If my father was alive, he'd be in both those places.
Oh, my dad, every day.
Typical gypsy, my dad. He'd be going through everything.
Oh, God, yeah. Every nut and bolt. Yeah. Oh, I need that bolt.
Wastewise, we hope that you can hang on.
Yeah.
And please, if you own a property with some space to it, I'm thinking of a few offhand. I don't want to mention them on the air, but there's a few buildings that aren't even being used. Mm-hmm. You know. But then again, it's landlords and tenants and all that other junk you have to throw in there. What else is going on here? The Walker Run for Georgetown Hospital is coming to the Gellert Center on the 25th of September.
Yeah. That's
my wedding anniversary for my second marriage. It doesn't count anymore.
No.
But the Walker Run for Georgetown Hospital will be held Sunday, September 25th. Held virtually the past 2 years. Of course, the walk will return to an in-person event, Gellert Community Center. Woo-hoo. And there will be both 3 and 5 kilometer courses on the trails around the community center. And you can either walk or run as an individual or get family, friends, neighbors, or work colleagues and register as a team.
They do a lot of those team things, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Gellert Center there is beautiful. You can walk all over the area there. There are paths and...
It's a beautiful stretch of land, especially in that neighborhood. It needed that chunk of land to be used that way.
And the Gellert's used for so many different things, not only for town, it's used for recreation. We got a huge soccer pitch there that's lit up at night, and baseball, of course, and swimming. I mean, it's a beautiful center, of course, but it's good to see everybody out and having fun again. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, and like they said, going from the virtual, walk to run to the in-person one will just be a huge celebration this year. So, and I think we're seeing that everywhere. Like I said, the car show, Leathertown, all the stuff we've been to, the Downtown Street Festival in Georgetown. Just the amount of people out is like, wow. So the fall fair.
Everybody's happy. I mean, I went to the car show there last week. Everybody's got a big smile on their face, and I saw so many people. It's hard, when you're known in town to walk through, because you're going to end up talking. But I enjoyed myself. It was good.
I do too, and that's why I say to people, it's a lot of fun when I'm DJing on a day like Sunday at the car show, but you also get a lot of people that just want to come up and chat with you and take a picture or whatever. And so you got to do that as well. So it makes it a busy day, but it's a fun day. It's a lot of fun to do, and we enjoy it. So
absolutely.
I've been involved with these guys. The Acton Youth Center celebrated generous donation of outdoor furniture purchased from the proceeds of the Three Musketeers golf tournament. Users of the youth center provided input on the patio space furnishings, which included 2 picnic tables, a bench, and some umbrellas. And the annual golf tournament is established in memory of the 3 local youth, Mark Everson, Travis Toth, and Rory Dick, has been held for the past 17 years. And since then, the family and friends of the trio have raised and donated funds in their honors to various community various community initiatives. Holy moly, I'm having a hell of a time getting through that one.
It's the soap in your mouth.
Exactly. Including the Three Musketeers skate park in Acton, which is an amazing skate park. Georgetown Cruise Night, September 20. Oh, that's next
don't
story.
forget that.
But yeah, well, we've also got the Georgetown Cruise Night, September 2nd from 5 till 9:30, Moldmaster Sportsplex. And again, come see these cars, people. They're beautiful.
We're going to start promoting them every Friday morning on the Facebook radio side when we give all our info.
Right.
And remind people that, hey, come on, the car show's here.
And the kids love it. The kids see these cars and they're just like, oh, they don't
we're
you know, they're sitting in the back seat of your Toyota or my little Chevy or whatever, and they're seeing these flashy, nice looking cars. They don't get to see those all the time. Not like all the rest of the cars.
You can always tell when you're driving around Georgetown on a Friday night because there's old cars everywhere. Going to the show.
I know.
And it's like I passed when
Pull
I came
into
up
Tim
here
Hortons
tonight.
are there.
When I come up here tonight, I think I passed 2 Camaros and a Corvette.
Right.
Coming the other way, and I know where they were going.
And you don't see that on a Thursday or a Wednesday night.
You don't see that in Toronto.
That too.
But it's Car Town here.
But,
and don't forget that we are a radio station, Halton Hills Online, 24/7. And we're musicians love our radio format, our music format, because we have such a huge playlist, and we
Massive playlist.
And we cover country and indie and rock and pop.
Local.
And oldies and new stuff. Our Big 20 show just added another 3 radio stations this week for the newest, you want the freshest radio show in the world. It's produced by us, goes out to radio stations. It's called the Big 20, and that's all the new music. But we look at the music from the newer music from the older side.
Right.
People... Usually people in their 60s and 70s don't give the new music a chance, but really it's pretty good. So that's the kind of stuff that we play. Is the stuff
that's
that
what we search for.
Yeah, we're not a hip hop or a heavy rock station because it's hard to mix that genre of music. Nothing wrong with it. It's just hard to mix it.
Very hard to mix it. Yeah.
We're pop rock. You can sit there, you'll hear Jackson Browne, and you'll hear something new, and it's a good mix, and it is a radio station, by the way. And we do have Don Cherry, yes.
That too. You can't forget that.
Don Cherry is so good to get Don back on local radio.
Good just to hear him again, and the stories and the tales and it's just.
Well, nobody can tell a story like Don Cherry.
No. His emotion and charisma just kind of come together and go poof.
He's full of it, man, and he's full of emotion and charisma.
Yeah.
The guy is just an icon, and I love him. And so glad to have him. So we're going to wrap it up. We're brought to you by Max Tires, 905-873-9255. They also fix automobiles. They're an auto repair station as well, trucks as well. And give them a call, 61 Guelph Street. Please call them first because they're a very busy company and you have to line up stuff. But nothing but good reviews about Max Tires and the lowest prices on tires and sexy accessories.
Bold statement, man.
Yes, it is a bold statement.
Well, for all of us, we just want to thank you guys for all tuning in as we come to the end of our summer, essentially. Everybody getting back to school. It's a long weekend. Please be safe out there. Police are going to be out in full force. It's a long weekend, so please be safe out there and think about drinking and driving. Don't do it. Call a cab, call a friend, call your mom, call your dad, who cares? Call your neighbor if you have to, but don't drink and drive. We really encourage that. So, Big Daddy Russ Horton, I'm Lee Lakin, and Leah Lywood, who's at home, but we'll see her next week. She promises me she'll see us next week. So,
community is driven by community. You navigate, we drive.
And we drive.
And you see little Mr. Squirrel standing on the fence there, just having a feast on something.
He's found something.
We're a small town, eh?
Yeah.
All right.
And easily excitable.
Yes, very easily excitable. Have a great week, everyone. Leah's going to go shut off the machine now. And look at that squirrel. He's just...